Welcome back to the Samantha Parker Show. Hey, I'm your host, Samantha. Let's dive on in. I'm so excited to have you on my podcast. So welcome to the Samantha Parker Show.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, so today I'm sitting down with Yvonne, and I think you're just a baller.
Yeah, you do?
I do, yeah.
I wasn't expecting that, but thank you.
No, I think you're super amazing. Obviously, okay, I'm going to be a little biased because we do your podcast, we do your social media now. We haven't been working with you very long, though. So I feel like I have a lot of questions.
Sure, let's dive in.
Yeah. Okay, but how do you introduce yourself? What's your title that you go by?
First of all, I'm an open book. Nothing is off limits. So I just go by Yvonne, really. I have a first name, but Yvonne's my middle name, so I just go by Yvonne.
Oh, Yvonne's your middle name?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, but what title would you give yourself? Because you got a few hats.
Serial entrepreneur?
Serial entrepreneur? Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah, I'm just Yvonne. I'm like, just me.
You're like, it's just Yvonne,
It's just
okay?
me.
It's like Prince.
Yeah.
One name.
Yeah. Really, I've considered dropping the last name. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just being Yvonne.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
I tell everyone, they're like, it's the Samantha Parker.
Oh,
It's
I
the
like
Samantha
that.
Parker. Don't forget the.
Oh, yeah, I like that.
And people
I'm
are like,
Yvonne.
what's your business name? And I'm like, it's the Samantha Parker.
Love that.
It's registered. Yeah.
Yeah, I think from an outsider looking in, if they saw all the things I do, they'd be like, oh, hell, she's totally ADD. Because I do a lot. But really, I'm me. I'm Yvonne. I'm a lover of life and all humanity, and I'm your bestie through it all. I believe I'm probably one of the most down-to-earth people. I think I can come across intimidating. People will look at me and think I'm something else, but I think once they get to know me, I'm just Yvonne.
I love it. Yeah. Okay, but what do you do, though, for work? Let's dive into that, because I know you've got coaching, you've got the Her Summit coming up, Her Success Summit, and then you have, like, you travel all over because you're, like, a really amazing injector. So tell me about all those things.
Okay, and I love that we bring this up. So I am Yvonne, and what I do, right? So I don't identify me as a title or a credential. It's what I do. So I've been trained as a family nurse practitioner. That's my schooling. So family nurse practitioner. However, I was rejected from Intermountain Healthcare. So that's where we live here in Southern Utah. Is our main healthcare provider is Intermountain Healthcare. I actually started with them in the 90s running their snack bar on the graveyard shift, flipping burgers.
Okay. I worked for Intermountain.
I worked my way up I worked emergency medicine as a unit secretary in the trauma center. And then I really worked just about every position in the hospital but housekeeping.
Okay.
So I've done all of that. And then I ended up going into nursing school because I wanted to be a nurse, and ended up being a family nurse practitioner because of my nurse practitioner when I was 14. And that's all in my book, From Food Stamps to Fortunes. But
Oh, I should have had your book. I have it at home, but I should have it right here.
I know.
And
I
prop
said
it up.
that to April.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my gosh, I should have brought my book for you.
Oh,
But
you know what? I'll do that next time we're podcasting with you. I'll make sure we have your book.
yeah, so I am a family nurse practitioner. I am a serial entrepreneur. My first business I started in 2015, a med spa outside of Park City, Utah. And I really didn't know what I was doing, but I did it anyway. And it was medical weight loss and Botox and fillers. And then I started dabbling in skin. I hired an esthetician. And then I started a training program. And so in 2018, I started Medical Aesthetic Art Institute, training medical professionals how to do Botox and filler. And then I saw a need in the industry after traveling across the country, realizing these medical spas did not have an emergency kit. So I created and trademarked Aesthetic ER. It's an emergency kit and training for dermal filler complications. And then in 2021, we were voted Institute of the Year. And ironically, I had written on a 3x5 card that I wanted to be amongst the best training programs in the country. And we were voted number one 3 years later. And then in 2020, I started a clinic here, and not as a med spa. I never wanted a med spa in St. George, but what I did was I created a booth rental Botox bar concept. So after a nurse or a nurse practitioner would take a training, we would put them in a booth and I would act as medical director and oversee them. We do have everything to run a med spa. We have all the equipment, but it's really a landing place for these new injectors to get started. And then I have a satellite clinic and training center in Las Vegas. I did sell my first business 2 years ago, and the aesthetic ER is in contract to be sold now.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah, so that's the medical side of things that I do. I do speak nationally at medical conferences. I own my own medical conference. That's MAAI Summit. We hold that every August in Park City. And then I realized, after training so many medical professionals, specifically women, the limiting beliefs that they have, they hold themselves back. They play small. They don't dare go all in on themselves. And so it's like I teach them the skill that literally has generated me millions of dollars. And I'm like, what's holding you back? And I realize it's their narrative, their self-dialogue. And so then I started business coaching, which truly is a lot of mindset coaching. And I ended up taking that business to 6 figures within the first year. And it's been 3 years as a business coach doing that as well. And I just love coaching and speaking. And so I've vowed to myself this year that I will not step on anyone else's stage and give a medical lecture. I'm done doing that. I feel a calling to impact women on a deeper, more spiritual level. And so I have Her Success Summit. It's a women's conference. I started it last year here in St. George. And then I really blew it up into more of a weekend retreat where we have some extremely powerful women flying in to speak. One generated $100 million in her company this year. Another one created a pink pill for women, and she literally sold her business for $1 billion, and they were driving the business into the ground, so she bought it back, and she's a powerhouse. So I just want to show women what is possible. They have so much power that they are not even aware of, and I do believe that when women make more money, we can change the world. So that's my mission. My mission is to empower and inspire and impact 4 million women worldwide to create a life by design, a life that they dream of living. So yes, I wear many hats. And as I'm still in medicine today, but I don't know how long I'll be in medicine because, again, I have a calling I believe that I'm to fulfill, and that's really helping women achieve their goals and dreams.
Okay, so I have all the questions now too. I'm always I'm banking them in my head as you're talking. I'm like, oh, I got to ask her about this, this, and this. But it's okay. I'll just have you back on the podcast.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Okay, so first thing, I love that you said that you're just Yvonne. You're like, oh, I don't go by my title, all these different things. I love that because sometimes I've felt like this a lot. So my husband retired from the military last year. So that was 21 years he did in the military. And a lot of times it just felt like people were just grouping me into an army wife. And they would be like, oh, how's your husband doing? Because he was deployed a lot. I gave birth to my son by myself. He was deployed even as, I think most recently was 3 years ago. And people are always like, how is Jake? How's Jake? How's Jake? And it's so often I was like, hello. And it is hard to go by our titles because a lot of times people, they're like, oh, what is it that you do? Which I think that defines a lot of us though, because it's how we spend a huge part of our day. But I'm like, oh, there's always so much more to me than just what I do. And if you're an entrepreneur, you want to break from it because your whole life can be immersed in it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was actually just telling April that when you are so passionate about what you do and you love what you do and you love serving the people you're serving, you can get lost in it. And I see so many women defined by their position and then so many women held back that I don't have this title, I don't have these credentials. And I'm like, I think the most empowering thing any woman can do is learn to deeply love and respect herself. I'm not attached to the money. I'm not attached to the titles. I'm not attached to any of that. My whole purpose is loving humanity, loving other people, leaving my pixie dust or my essence in this world. And that's why I wrote my book was I want to leave this world a better place because God believed in me enough to give me life that I could be down here amongst all of you. And I am so damn grateful for this every day. I wake up in gratitude that I get to be me. There is no one else like me. There is no other Yvonne, me. And I don't take that lightly. And I live every day to the fullest. I truly am in love with my life. And I'm not saying my life is peaches and cream. It's not butterflies. There's definitely challenges. I've been through so much. As you read my book, you'll see that. But that's why I am the woman I am today. But I deeply, deeply love, honor, and respect myself as an extension to our Creator.
Okay, I love that, because when you were saying you had a calling, and I was like, oh, I wanted to get into that. So do you feel like God literally was like, Yvonne, like you've been through so much, you've done all this, now you need to go out and share what happened?
100%. My voice is to be heard. And looking back, as Steve Jobs always says, you can always connect the dots looking back. It's so scary for us human beings. Our mind does not like anticipation or uncertainty. That's why people get fearful, and that's why they stop and they hold themselves back, because of the unknown. However, I've learned to embrace that, because I am an extension of Source. If God wants me around, I'm going to be around. And now more than ever, I'm 48 years old. Now more than ever, I have committed and vowed to spend the rest of my life in service of humanity, and specifically women. I deeply love the women I serve, and they are an extension of me and an extension of God, our Creator. And so I'm not perfect by any means. My human mind always kicks into habitual thinking and to habitual patterns, but I have to ground myself. We were just up in Zion, and I literally was hugging trees because I want to be one with nature and be grounded in my humanity. But every day, every single day, I am so grateful to be alive. I'm so grateful to be me. And I am on a mission. I am on my life's mission, my life's purpose. I do not want to leave this life with anything left in me, because I've learned that our dreams don't have an expiration date, but our life does. And I will spend every day of my life living it to the fullest.
Oh, I love that. I've heard you say that before too, about the dreams, and it's so powerful. So thank you for sharing that. Okay, the other thing that I was like taking mental note of, I'm really surprised I can remember all these things, was you said you started at IHC. So I used to work at IHC too. Oh. But so I got my CNA my senior year of high school. And so then I started working as a CNA like 18, 19. And then I was going to nursing school. I did not finish nursing school. I actually ended up pregnant with my daughter. And that's how I have a 20-year-old at 40. And I just ultimately, I couldn't do all of it. So I was working nights at Cottonwood Hospital. Do you remember Cottonwood Hospital?
Yes,
It's not there anymore. Yeah. So I worked nights, and then I was pregnant, and then I had her, and I was in an extremely abusive relationship to a total, absolute, by the book, narcissist, sociopath. And it was like I couldn't carry all of that.
Sure.
So I ended up not finishing college till I was 30. But yeah, I remember doing all of that, like you're talking about.
But I love that. That's your beautiful journey. Mm-hmm. And the thing is, as I mentioned on my podcast, is why do we judge other people's journey? I've not lived in your shoes. I've not walked your path. It's not my business to judge your journey, but I love you and honor you and respect you for living your truth and your journey. And obviously, nursing wasn't your path, right?
Yeah.
You're right where you're meant to be. Doing what you do.
I loved the time that I worked as a CNA. And then after I had her, like just to support us, like I did hospice work. And that was incredible. Like it shaped my life and changed my life. But it was one of those things where you're like, I just feel like you can't work in that space forever.
Yeah, exactly.
It is taxing.
Yeah. And that's how I felt working emergency medicine. Mm-hmm. It's toxic. But if you look on an energetic level, most people that are sick, I know this is going to sound woo-woo. This is like my spiritual side coming out, and metaphysics but a lot of the times energetically the illness is a manifestation of a low vibration or low energy.
Oh,
or
absolutely.
Something holding within you. So when you're in that environment all the time, and I talk about this in my book, is a lot of the nurses I coach are leaving the hospital. They're so burnt out. Mm-hmm. They're literally walking around dying because life is sucked out of them. And so I give them hope again. I help reignite that light and that purpose in them, that you are made for more. You have a purpose. But what happens is life happens to us, right? And then we get in a job to pay the bills and make ends meet, that we lose ourselves in that process. And I think it happens more later in life. We either have a midlife awakening or we have a midlife crisis, and we're faced with a new opportunity to change our lives. And so that's what happened for me. Was my father passed away in 2016 of pancreatic cancer. And I didn't know of all the spiritual gifts I have, but I dreamt his death a year and a half before he died. And I realized I'm clairvoyant. Things come to me in my dreams, which we all have these spiritual gifts.
Absolutely. I figured out how to fix my Jeep the other day. And my husband goes, how did you know to do that? And I said, oh, God told me.
Yeah, your
He's
intuition.
like looking at me like, what? Ask Cindy. Cindy was with me. My Jeep has been pissing me off so bad. It had this thing wrong with it where like all of a sudden you'd be driving it and then just all the emergency lights, like everything on the dash would just keep flashing and beeping and flashing and beeping. But then I would go and take it in and they're like, oh, we have no idea what you're talking about. Yeah.
I'd be curious as to if your spirit guides or something else is trying to get your attention.
Yeah, what it was the wire on the battery had come loose, but my husband's like, no, I've looked at it, I've checked it. These guys were like, no, everything's fine. And I was like, you just need to tape it with some electrical tape and tape it tighter.
And it worked.
Yeah. But I had never even looked at it or even knew about it. My husband last night goes, how did you know that that's what I should do? And I was like, God told me.
We really have genius within us. We do. But we are so distracted by life, the external world. We're so distracted that we don't hear it.
Yes. And that's something I've been really focused on lately, is taking that intentional time to listen.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't even have to be a lot of time. Sometimes it's like just shutting the radio off in the car and just listening, or I can listen and listen at the same time. I think we're ladies.
But think about this for a minute. If you're driving through a storm and the rain's coming, whatever, and you can't see it's foggy, what do? We turn off the music. We literally get focused. We cannot have any distractions because we need to hear, we need to get focused, we need all of our senses. So that's exactly how life is. And I will tell you, the same goes for success. If you want massive success, you've got to get still. You've got to get quiet because your intuition is already whispering. The whisper turns into a knock, and then it turns into what we've heard is like a full
slap in the face.
Like
cancer.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. It's all about bringing us back to our truth, ourselves.
I love that. Okay, so yesterday we were in the same room, but you had April on. She's over there. Hey.
Yeah.
I always like to give everyone else in the room a shout out. I'm like, hey guys.
Yeah.
You had her on your podcast, but I heard you say you get up at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
And I used to be really big on the morning routine where I was like, if you do this morning routine, you'll be successful. And then I was like, okay, like you have to like chill out a little bit. So then when I heard you say 4 a.m., it piqued my interest. So I want to hear like your 4 a.m. What does this morning look like?
Okay. It's not for everyone, right? But when I tapped into my passion, I have a lust for life. I want to live it. And now, don't get me wrong. There's plenty of days where, like, I was in Coeur d'Alene over the weekend. It was rainy. It was gray. I'm really affected by the weather.
Oh,
it affects my mood.
So glad the sun's out today because it was really messing with me.
Yeah, it messes with me too.
I was like, what is this rain? I don't like it.
Yeah, I had honestly bought a car or booked a car rental so I could go explore and look for some land because I want to buy land in the country. And because it was gray and cold, I stayed in my room. I stayed in my bed. I'm like, that is not me. But 4 a.m. and it's just quiet. The world is asleep.
Oh, I love it.
I can have time alone.
You can go outside and see the stars.
I journal. I'll go stand in the grass sometimes just to ground and see the stars. I even had her in my hot tub last night. I'm like, let's just sit under the stars. It's quiet. And I like to be in elements or nature as much as I can. But in the morning, I wake up. It's pretty much automatic. This morning, 3:56 without alarm.
That is 3:56.
Yeah.
See, I get up at 5, and I feel like that's ambitious.
But what time do you go to bed?
9:30.
Oh, okay. Yeah, me too.
I'm usually asleep by 10.
Yeah. So with teenagers, I have teenagers now, and so when they're with me, they keep me up a little bit later. But I try to be in bed, journal, reflect, read, listen to something.
I may not be asleep, but like I'm in bed. Oh.
But 4 a.m. just seems to work. If I'm on, we call it second shift. So my twins, they're still allowing me to drive them to their football practice in the morning, although they have driver's license. I take every opportunity I can. And so they don't have to be there till 5:45. So sometimes I'll just spend extra time doing things in the morning. So I get up, I roll right out of bed onto my knees, and I thank God that I get today. Then I stretch, and then I will journal, I'll meditate, I'll just spend time in the mirror. So I do a tapping technique of self-love. I hired a hypnotherapist. He was on like Larry King Live, and I had a couple sessions with him. He's from San Diego area. And he taught me this tapping technique of loving myself. And he's helped a lot of people become extremely successful doing this. And so I do that in the morning in the mirror, and I just connect with my younger self and do my own inner work. And then I get ready and I go to the gym. And I believe when you move your body, you move your mood, and it shifts your state. And so I always say I do me for the first 3 hours of every day.
Oh, I like that. I do me for the first 3.
Yeah.
Can you write that down?
And then the rest of the world can have me,
Cindy's got
have
it.
what's left of me.
Yeah.
But I can step out into the world as my best self after I've taken care of myself.
I agree.
So the world gets my overflow. Whatever's left, they get of me. But that's like my time. It's so important to me.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, I ran a 5K this morning.
Good for you. Which one was that?
It was me, myself, and I on the treadmill.
Good.
And this time of year, I start to get a little down on running because, like, I was on the treadmill at the gym, and they do at the gym the Summit on Sunset. It is like up high, and you can usually see Snow Canyon. But in the morning, this time of year, you have to stare into the dark abyss at yourself.
Yeah, that's hard.
You know what? That was great, though. I listened to my Jesus music, and I love it.
Good. That's
Yeah.
powerful.
It was good. It was good. I'm running the Snow Canyon 10K, but I haven't been running.
Okay.
But I got really sick last week, and it like mentally, like it really, I don't know, I got in a weird mental space. I was like, it's just a head cold. So I'm pulling myself out of that.
Yeah, but everything is energy and everything affects you. And one thing I don't think most people understand, and April and I talked about this because April is a nutrition autoimmune expert. And so what I realized, and I realized ironically this year, I love Easter candy. I love candy. I love candy. But when I eat candy, it affects my mental health. The dyes, the sugar. And what I realized is it affects the microbiome. So your behavior, and we see this in children with ADD, ADHD, the red dyes, it affects you on a cellular level. And so being ill, it affects you that way too.
Yeah.
But I want you to know, I am such a diehard cheerleader. You're a hype girl. I will go run my ass off in the cold with you just to help you reach your goals.
Yeah.
So call me.
Okay.
I will meet you. I'm up at 4 a.m. anyway.
I know. I was having like I've been having a weird time. And even yesterday, I was struggling to just get out of bed. And I'm like, you have to change that tomorrow.
Yeah.
So I was like, get up, just go run. It was
So
great.
get up and think Yvonne would do this. Yvonne's there.
I'm going to spin tomorrow at 5:15 if you want to come.
What spin? Where the new...
The hype.
Okay. What's tomorrow? 5? I can.
5:15. Yeah. Do you want to come? It's
Oh,
my
yeah.
friend Jess's class, and it's slow and sweaty.
Okay. Count us in.
So it's heavy sweaty. That's what they call it. I keep it every time we have a podcast. I'm inviting people to her class. I was like, we just talked about
Slow
this.
and
Yeah,
sweaty. Heavy sweaty.
it's
Yeah.
heavy and sweaty, and your first ride's free. So if you
Okay.
guys just, I know they won't be full tomorrow, so you guys could just show up.
Perfect.
I would show up though like 5:05 to get your shoes,
Yeah. We'll be there.
Yeah.
I'll just double check. The twins don't have to be anywhere.
and
But
it's
yeah,
like 45 minutes. It's great because I'm like home and showered and ready for the day by 7.
I
you
love
know?
it. Oh, yeah. We're game.
Okay, let's go.
Love
I'm
it.
excited.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Jess will be excited too.
So fun.
Yeah. Okay. So that's what you do. And
Yeah.
then how do you structure your days? I feel like you're one of those people who've got success dialed in, but I'm sure you're always adjusting the dial.
You have to adjust the dial. So my personal assistant just quit last week. So normally my personal assistant does whatever I need. She'll meal prep my food for me. She packs my luggage for me. She runs errands. She goes grocery shopping. She'll do whatever I need. And I've had one for so long that I'm lost without one.
Yeah.
Because I will tell you, I'm not going to lie, like menopause has effed with my brain. Like I'm like, what am I doing? Where am I at?
But so I get my hormones checked a ton. I'm super on top of that. Like every 6 months, it's a passion project of mine to feel good.
Yeah.
But that's one thing is I don't remember everything I
Yeah.
used to remember. I'll even tell Cindy, I'm telling you this because I know I'm not going to remember.
Yeah. Honestly, I have to have a personal assistant just because of my memory. which makes me really sad because I'm like,
I started looking at it though. I'm like, I've had such a fulfilling, it's just all the amazing things I get to do all the
Yeah.
time. They're just filling all the memories.
Yeah.
Like it's like a cloud. The
Yeah.
cloud is like so full and abundant.
there you go. I'm going to start looking at it that way. What I've done that has really, really helped me, because I do wear so many hats and I have ADD business, like so many of them, that I have to delegate and designate. So Monday is admin day. We work on the business and we take meetings and we take calls. So my marketing meeting, those are all on Monday. Tuesday is podcasting. Wednesday's coaching. Thursday's patients. Friday through Sunday's travel. So I try not to. So yesterday, April was like, oh my gosh, this is a crazy day. Because when you have to energetically switch one hat to the next, it is time consuming. So I want to be in the right state of mind when I'm seeing a patient, which is a much lower energy than buzz, 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 like go, go, go when I'm coaching. So it's so funny. I did a late night coaching group last night and I got done and April's, oh my gosh, you're like a whole different woman. And I'm like, that's what coaching does. I am high vibe, high energy. That is my jam. When my energy is high, my client's energy is high.
Yeah.
Coaching is my jam. That is my thing. When I speak life into people, I am in alignment and I manifest like this. And it's not that I don't love seeing patients in the clinic anymore. And I do still love to teach. I love to speak. But when you're switching energetic states, they're definitely different. And when I do so many different tasks during the day, that is just too much energetically.
Oh, absolutely.
So speaking to anyone listening to me here is, if you are juggling multiple things, it's mind, brain, energy. Your energy is everything. So that's why you see like the billionaires wearing the same color shirt every day. They don't want to have to make more decisions because their mind power, they're giving it away for making other decisions. That's why I wear black all the time.
Okay, I knew you were going to wear black. So did
Yeah.
you see?
Yeah.
I wore black. I was
Yeah.
like, I'm going to match.
This has been something I've been consciously making this decision more recently.
Oh, I love it. I'm here for it.
Yeah, and so I am switching to wardrobe. I do still wear purple because that is my brand colors, but we're going through some change, and you're a part of this change where
We're coming along.
Yeah, we have a lot of transitioning, a lot of pivoting with the businesses moving forward. I'm selling some of them off, and I am stepping more into alignment and to my purpose. I think my audience is starting to see, like, she's changing. Her look is changing. A lot is changing, but I want to save my energy for what truly matters. But yes, organizing my days really, really helps. But I do need a personal assistant. So if anyone's looking for a job, hit me up.
I know. Gosh, I'm like, I want someone to meal prep and pack my clothes. I'm not there yet, though.
Yeah. I've been doing this for a while. And for me to be on my best game, I need help.
Yeah. No, I totally get that.
Yeah.
Even obviously, like, I'm a mom, you're a mom. And even at home, like, I'm not able to be that, like, homemaker wife.
Yeah.
So that's one thing that I've gotten pretty good at, too, is, hey, like, I'm not able to do those things.
And I'm really not a great host, and I feel bad. I'm like, you guys, I love company, but I'm like the worst host because I'm used to having someone help me with my meals, that I'm not the person that's going to cook a meal for someone. And I don't mean it in a rude way.
Yeah, I get it.
My life is so many moving parts and things. I'm like, welcome to my home. Please make yourself at home. And here's the kitchen. Cook for yourselves. Eat whatever you want. Help yourself.
Let's order.
Like, because that's,
Yeah.
I'm just always
No, I get that.
doing and
Yeah.
going and stuff. So yeah.
Oh, I love that. Okay. So if you had to, like, I know that soundbite you're talking about. You can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect the dots looking backwards. But if you do look back, have you heard the Gary Vee, what he says? He says, all that looking back is fucking with your neck.
Oh, funny.
Yeah.
It's funny. Yeah. I don't live back there.
I know,
Yeah.
but they are also great. I enjoy looking back, where I'm at in my life right now. Before I used to be like, oh my gosh, who was that person? But now I'm like, hey, that was so wild. Look what I
Yeah.
did. But if you could look back and connect some dots, what do you feel like was a really big moment for you that completely shifted your life? Do you have like one that just stands out?
I have had so many. Okay. And I want to share something with you that might blow your mind. Okay.
Okay.
Now, I want you to, everyone listening, to just open your mind for just a minute as I explain this to you. So you ask me, do I have one thing that stands out? I was raised by a mother who was raised in the LDS religion, but did not take us to church, except for when she needed a babysitter, she would drop us off. So I have a lot of religion issues because of the way I was raised, but put that aside. My father was Catholic, but anyway, my parents did the best they could. But there was so much turmoil in my childhood. But there was always a presence there. Now, I try to use the word God more because most people do. I still struggle with that. I do tend to say the universe, life, whatever you believe, but for me, it's the universe. But there's been several times where I was at really, really hard place in my life. And one in particular, I was probably 13, and I was in the bathroom getting ready, and I looked in the mirror, and I literally could see my soul through my eyes. And I looked, and I was like, there's something else in there, okay? So I know this sounds crazy, but that was my first in the moment, in the present, in the now, knowing that there's something greater. Now, I've felt a presence around me, whether that's my spirit guides, God, whatever. I did not know until this spiritual awakening or experience that I've been going through the last couple of years. And what I've come to realize for me and my truth is that it is actually me now visiting her then.
I've had that happen. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Is that not wild?
Yes.
Am I blowing everyone's mind right now?
Mm-hmm.
So I go back to her regularly, and I talk about this in my book. It's my last chapter, my favorite chapter in the book, Do It For Her, is I visit my younger self all the time, and I love her. I show up today as the woman she needed me then, right? And now my 80-year-old self comes to me, and she loves me fiercely, and we made it. Like, look what we have done in this lifetime. And when I get present and I get quiet and I get still with that, that is the most beautiful moment in my life. And so now that I understand that, now I can see that I was my own presence then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you want to hear my vivid experience of that? Because I don't think you're crazy at all.
Okay.
So I was probably like 22 or 23. I was living on my own in an apartment, and I just had a futon. And I've had my daughter, so my daughter's with me. We're just living in this little 2-bedroom apartment. But I remember I fell asleep on the futon in the little tiny living room, and I woke up, and there was a woman standing there. I know it happened. I know it was real. But at that point, like, I had worked hospice, I'd done all these things. I'm like, I'd seen a lot of stuff. So I was like, okay, that was weird. The next day, my grandparents picked me up. I think we were going to brunch or something. And I was like, there was a woman in my living room last night. It was a ghost. And I was asking my grandma, I said, do you know who she is? Because usually my grandma knows these things. Mm-hmm. Oh, and she's, I don't. And I've thought about that over and over and over. And then one day, like, I was probably driving or walking or something, and it just flipped into my head. And I was like, that was you visiting you in that moment.
I got the chills, full body
because
chills.
Especially in that moment too, I was laying on the couch. I was in the height of like my active alcohol addiction. And so I was looking back at myself and being like, you'll get out of this.
Yeah.
And you'll free yourself of this and this shitty apartment that you're living in and this crazy psychopath that won't leave you alone, and you'll get out of this. Yeah. And I've seen it, like, that was me looking at me.
Yeah. I've had so many things. And I think one day I'll share. I'm actually putting together my second book. I've had some real deep spiritual experiences, not religious, but spiritual experiences that there's absolutely no denying, that I spoke into existence, and they've happened. Mm-hmm. And it happens all the time. So I'm very intentional now with my words. And one of the books I have all my coaching clients read when we first start is the 4 Agreements, because we need to be impeccable with our words, because we manifest. It's either black magic or white magic. And literally, when I'm intentional and I speak it, it happens. And when my vibration is high, I was telling April how I manifested my home. And it is so powerful. And I am working on practicing that more now, that my manifestation gap is quicker. And there's been a couple people that have come into my life and completely altered the trajectory of my life, knowing that we've had this spiritual contract for them to come in and do and disrupt it in a beautiful way that they did. But when my vibration is high, because the love I have for these people, I manifest as soon as it comes out of my mouth. And so I'm learning how to put myself in that state more consistently and more regularly. But what I'm clinging to now at this state in my life or time in my life is that I know with every fiber of my being, my mission right now, and that is to impact and inspire 4 million women. I don't need to know how, but I know that is my life's purpose.
Every time you say 4 million, I'm like, oh, that's really easy.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. You could pick a bigger number.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And right now, that's where my mind, the capacity my mind has on that. And what I heard today, which really, really helped me, because people are like, how do you measure that? And one thing I heard today was you measure it by money. So if you've done 4 million in your business, that's 4 million lives that you can impact. Because money is energy and it's symbolic. And so I'm like, okay, and you're exactly right. Like, I've done millions in my business, so I can raise that number. People might be like, but you only have 15,000 followers on your Instagram. Yeah, but I've impacted generations. I've helped women become millionaires themselves. And the woman that helped me, she doesn't even know it. She's in my book. I speak about her on the stages. So there is a book I read, and the author is unknown, but he says, and I talk about this a lot. I actually talk about this in my keynote, and he says, imagine on the day you were born with a number above your head. And what that number represents is the lives you are to impact. Whether that number is 3 or 3 million, that is your responsibility. And literally those lives are waiting for you. They're waiting for you, April, to step into your life's calling. And you are doing them a disservice by not fulfilling your life's calling. And so people ask me, Yvonne, how did you come up with the number 4 million? And I said, if there's 8 billion people in the world, half of those must be women. So that's 4 billion. That's a stretch for me. Like in my mind, that's a stretch.
That's what I'm saying. But if you think about that, 4 million isn't very many people.
It's not.
Yeah.
And so this has been a goal within just the last year. I've come up with the number 4 million. And so I'm like, that is achievable. It's a stretch.
I don't think
but
it's
it's
a stretch.
Achievable. Maybe I need to expand my mind.
Yeah.
You're right. Thank you.
I'm like, we can get one video there. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah. And you're exactly right. And I'm so grateful for you because you and I had heard your name. So the universe does this, right? He brings it up, or the universe brings it up a couple times so your name had come up, and my director of operations had actually brought up your name. But you know when you hear a name and you don't attach to anything because you don't know who it is?
Yeah.
Then you and I are at a women's conference in Scottsdale, Arizona. And again, she brings up Samantha was there. And I'm like, okay. And then we're at this point where we have the women's conference.
No, but you know what? I think before the women's conference, though, I was sitting in an event here at Kiln, and you were in the back, and you
I didn't
started
even know
talking.
you.
Yeah. And I was just sitting like 2 seats in front of you.
That is so crazy.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it.
Do you know what I'm talking?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you were saying that there was a guy talking, and he was saying da da da, and you raised your hand, and you're like, "Do you remember me? You changed my life."
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was just sitting a couple seats in front of you.
That is so crazy. So we were orbiting each other's, and it was obviously meant to be that to work together.
Yeah.
And I'm so grateful because for one, I love working with women, period. Like women's work, I'm telling you, ladies, if you're going to start a business because you have a calling, you're going to do extremely well if you listen in and you go in heart and soul, right? Your purpose, your passion. But I love working with women because we can just have this conversation and we can compliment each other and really support each other. So I'm always like, hire a woman first. And no man hating or man shaming.
Oh,
but
no, that's...
women are freaking incredible. They're just so incredible.
Yeah, and we have a couple single moms on my team, and I feel like they just want it.
Yeah.
And if we can help each other, let's do that.
100%. I lost my train of thought with my menopause brain there,
I have no idea, but tell us about Her Success Summit coming up, because we'll air this in the week, so people can still come get their tickets.
Yeah. I had come up with the idea last year, And I did it here local, like real low key, really inexpensive, a 1-day event. And it was so transformative that like women were like, oh my gosh, this was just what I needed. I just went through a divorce. I'm on fire. I'm ready to change my life. And again, knowing like my calling is getting louder and screaming at me, I'm like, okay, let's do this. Let's do this. Leadership, women in business, leadership. And I'm like, we have this brand new, beautiful golf resort. I literally go there every week for brunch because I love being in the environment. And I'm like, let's do it there. Because I flew to Tucson to tour the Tucson area. And I'm like, I want to bring business home. And it's not hard to get here. You can fly into Salt Lake to St. George. We have a little airport here. You can get here.
You can fly direct here a lot.
Yeah. And you can come in from Las Vegas. But it's so beautiful. Like April has been in awe since she arrived. And so I want it to be a place where you can be completely real, raw, vulnerable. And let's tap into these traumas that we have, these limiting beliefs that we have, this I'm not enough, I'm scared. And there's women here that have done huge things, but they're no better than you. They're no smarter than you. They're only a few steps ahead of you. And they want to reach back and pull you up. So I want all women there, whether you own a business or not. This is where you're going to come and recharge and connect. We're healing the sisterhood. We're loving on each other. We're getting to know each other. And we're doing we hired a golf pro to teach. I do not know how to golf. And I believe the more skills we have, the more well-rounded we are and the more relatable we are. So we have a golf experience planned. We have a stargazing experience, dream really big. We have great lectures, great food, spa package, just hanging out, relaxing. Even like Saturday night, I'm like, what I loved from the Powerhouse Women was dressing up in your pajamas and shopping and sipping. Like, let's get a bunch of women-owned businesses there and support them as they're starting their small business and get them, and we'll shop from them. We'll get little mini tattoos, or we'll get some jewelry or some makeup or whatever it is. But it's women supporting women is truly what it is. And we're learning from women that are a few steps ahead of us. And we're pouring into ourselves. And we're recharging and taking care of ourselves. Because when we do that, we can step into the world as our best self.
I love that. Okay, so let's link that in our show notes for sure. And then tell us your Instagram. Where can we find you online? Tell us all the handles.
Yeah, so that event is November 13th through the 16th here in St. George at Black Desert Resort.
And we'll be there. We're super excited. We're going to be there getting content. I actually have one of our other team members coming too. So
yeah, I love that. I have The Best of Yvonne on Instagram, The Best of Yvonne podcast, thebestofyvonne.com. My book is titled From Food Stamps to Fortunes. And yes, I've made a fortune, but it's not about the fortune. I live a very fortunate life because of my awareness now and because I've stepped into my life's calling. And my journal, The Best of You, it's really how to reprogram your mind for success. And then the medical side is Medical Aesthetic Art Institute. If anybody wants Botox, we do killer pricing for Botox because we train all these medical providers. So we're always looking for models for Botox and dermal
what
filler.
are you?
Yeah, so we do trainings all the time. And we love having models. So let me know if you want to be a model for that. And then, so Medical Aesthetic Art Institute on Instagram. You can DM me or medicalaestheticartinstitute.com. But yeah, we're here for it. And I love business coaching. I love mindset coaching. If you need advice, if you're feeling stuck, just drop me a DM. I check my DMs all the time. My team does as well. But yeah, we're here for you, 100%.
Awesome. Thank you so much for coming on the Samantha Parker Show today. Thanks for taking time out of your day as well. And I hope you've just been enjoying, I know your friend's here in town.
Yeah.
Your new friend.
Yes.
Is here in town. So I hope you guys go out and enjoy some more of this beautiful weather.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Hey guys, thank you so much for listening to the Samantha Parker Show. I wanted to let you know that you can head over to Substack and you can subscribe to Sam's Sober Club. I've got a lot of really amazing episodes over there, like my 30-day sober journal and some subscriber-only content. I also blog about your first 30 days being sober, your first day sober, your first year sober. I am sharing it all over on my Substack. So come join Sam's Sober Club. We've got it linked up in the show notes. And thank you so much for being here on the podcast.